Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Shea from SlyFlourish.com, and I am here with Enrique Bertrand for some early morning D&D. Enrique, say hello.
How are you, Mike?
I
How's
am
everybody doing? I hope everybody's good.
I am good. I can't speak for everybody, but I am doing well.
Well, I
Uh,
hope people in the chat can speak for themselves. How's that?
yes, I hope they're doing well. Hopefully everybody's doing fine. And
Isn't early morning D&D fun?
I love it, man. I'm loving one-on-one play. I love our little our way that we're playing here. I like this adventure a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, this is all great. And you, of course, are an amazing person, and it's a joy to play with you every time we do. What
Uh,
happened
you're...
in last session's game?
So last session's game, we went to the Woodland Mans, and Barundar and Bang came across a is it fair to call it an unnatural tree? Like
Yes,
some sort of
yes,
unnatural tree that was being guarded by some kind of half-orc druid.
yes.
Um, so we took the easy way out and we basically fireballed the tree to oblivion, right?
What one could argue whether or not getting fireballed in the head is the
Yeah,
easiest
so
approach.
Bing
It's the
so Bing
fastest
grabbed
approach.
his Bing grabbed his necklace of fireballs, took a look at Barundar. Barundar took a look at Bing, nodded and said, "Do it." And Bing dropped a bead on Barundar's head
That's awesome.
that exploded into a fireball and destroyed the tree.
It's one of those moments that makes you just love D&D.
One of those great D&D
One
moments
of
you'll be
those
talking
great
about
D&D
forever.
moments that we will remember being fireballing Barundar. And
Yes,
I think we ended right at pretty much at that moment, right?
we did.
So you stand up, smoke pouring off of your armor, a little bit charred and worn, and you hear what can only be described as like a screaming. And when you turn around, the green, twisted, viney tree behind you is burning and turning black and gray. And green ooze is pouring out of the cracks as it burns and chars. And all of these little pods that are hanging off of it are all popping, each with their own little cacophony of screaming. And Bing just kind of looks at it. He's like, "Sir, will you look at that?
I'm looking at it, Bing, but I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either, but I can tell you that I feel as though the corruption of that thing was hopefully worthy of burning. I think we did I think we did a good thing here today."
We have indeed done well here today, Bing.
You notice, so you were in there were a whole bunch of those little weird twig blight things that got burned by the fireball, as well as the body of a half orc druid who's lying there. I think it took like, did it take one or two hits to finish him off, or was he killed by the fireball? I don't remember.
No, I think it took a hit to finish him off.
Yeah, so he is
Let's
lying
say that
there.
Barundar's bravery finished him off,
Finished
not
him
the fire.
off. Right. Yeah, Barundar's bravery. Well, I would and Bing certainly would argue that Barundar's bravery at accepting a fireball to the head is as
Yeah,
though he was doing it, really.
Barundar would not disagree.
Yeah, Bing just sort of, was a catalyst more so than the weapon. You notice that there is a leather satchel, a hide bound, hand sewn satchel hanging around the shoulder and waist of the dead druid. Bing is like, some sort of. He's like, hang on one second, sir. And you hear the pattering of his feet all throughout the upper floor of the manse as he kind of makes his way from the upper balcony where he was situated to the lower area where you are currently residing. And you hear as he kind of goes away. You hear the stairs, and he comes running around the corner. And he kind of looks at the pad. He goes, "I think these are some sort of anchorite, sir. Some like religious solitude or religious folk, religious recluses. And if you look, sorry, sir. Yes.
No, no, go ahead,
Oh,
Bing.
sorry. Yes, but look around their necks, sir." And he kind of reaches down and he pulls this metal necklace, like a hand hammered metal necklace, ham hammered medallion tied to like a leather cord. And as he does, it kind of peels some of the skin away of the anchorite, when he pulls it off of him from the burn. He's like, oh, and he kind of makes a disgusted look. And it's a metal symbol with 3 lightning bolts on it.
Bing,
Sir.
be careful how you handle that. Last time you handled a necklace, I took a fireball to the head.
Yes. Ah! And spark arcs off of the necklace into the palm of his hand, and his hair stands out on end. And he tries like, God, I wish I had listened to you sooner, sir. There is some power.
Bing, you'll be carrying that thing.
Sir? He looks at you and he's
You'll be carrying that
holding
thing.
his hand. Yes, sir. And he reaches in and he pulls out a small rod that he keeps in his bag, and he lifts the necklace up and kind of examines it. He goes, I believe there is still some of the anchorite's energy inside of this amulet. One could perhaps, and you see his eyes go sort of a blue, and he looks at the necklace. He goes, I believe that this could be used, sir. I believe. Do you remember when you were fighting that anchorite in the woods, and they blasted you with a blast of lightning?
I do.
I wasn't sure if you remember,
Oh.
because you took it right into the head. And sometimes when someone takes
Bing.
trauma like that, they forget about what caused it. So I just wanted to check.
So what you're telling me, Bing, is that necklace might be the cause of the lightning to the head.
I think the cause came from the anchorite, but this necklace still is charged by the anchorite's power, at least to be used one time. So I am happy to wear it, but I already am well suited in casting spells and throwing orbs from a distance. I still have 2 left on this necklace here, and he holds up the necklace.
Bing,
2 beads left on it. Sir.
I believe you're trying to tell me you don't want to carry the necklace.
I
Give
would-
me the necklace and I'll put it on.
All right. As you you snatch the necklace from his hand, can you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
That is a 7.
So you snatch it and you just grab it right by the metal, and electricity just races up your arm, inflicting 6 points of damage as you are hit with a small charge of electricity. Do you want to act as though no charge really hit you? Like that was just, do you grit your
Yes.
teeth, or do you cry out? All right, so you kind of grit your teeth.
No, I grit my teeth and I hold it in.
Right, you kind of grit your teeth and hold it in, and Bing kind of looks at you. Can you give me a charisma deception check, please?
That's a 7.
So you grit your teeth and you're looking at Bing, and Bing's kind of looking at you, and a small tear just falls out of your eye, right? And he just looks at the tear and he nods. He goes, "Very, very stout, sir. Well, yes, well done."
We should be going, Bing.
Yes, sir. I believe we should. You begin to make your way out of the manse. So you were sort of heading out of one of those doors from that central room that has the weird tree-like thing. And as you get over to the front doors, it is dusk, right? The sun has fallen, and night is just beginning to rise. And you see that a cloud of storms is making their way in from the west. And as they do, a blast of blue lightning strikes off on the horizon. And as it does, you see the silhouettes of 4 individuals standing out in the clearing outside of the front of the manse. It looks like one of them is standing there as a female anchorite. You see that she is wounded from previous wounds that she has suffered, but it appears that she has healed some of them in some time. And 3 orcs, all holding like axes and swords, that are standing there. All of them have 3 lightning bolts painted on their foreheads as they stand and see you at the front door of the manse. And all of them begin to ascend towards the manse. Bing looks at them and then looks at you. What do we do, sir? They're coming.
First question, how
Yes.
far away are they?
They are, at this point, they're about 80 feet away.
80 feet away.
They're at that tree. They're at the tree line, making their way in. And it's
What about from each other? Are they bunched up, or are they?
They are not bunched up. They probably have about 25 feet between them as they're starting to funnel in towards you. It looks like two of the orcs are making their way in faster than the anchorite and another orc who are making their way in slower. So they're going to come in pairs. Two orcs and then the anchorite and the orc. And the anchorite is speaking to the orcs in Orcish. Do you understand Orcish?
I do.
The female anchorite is like, "Do not be hasty. Take them slowly or we will fall like the rest. They have powerful magics, these, and we should treat them as such."
Bing,
Sir!
I'm going to let you do the talking this time.
He,
I want you to plant a fireball on them.
I said, I think I will only be able to hit two of them with a fireball. Shall I do so?
Bing, fighting 2 is better than fighting 4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, right away. He takes the necklace and he plucks one of the beads off of it, and he kind of looks at you and he says, "Should I bounce it off your head like the last time? That worked really well."
No, Bing, we won't be doing that this time.
Sorry, sir. Yes. And he hurls the bead out into the midst, and the two orcs both sort of start. As soon as he starts to throw the bead, they begin to move. Let's roll for initiative.
So Barundar rolls a natural 17 with a dexterity of +2, 19. Bang rolls a natural 8 and a +1 dexterity, so a 9.
All right. The anchorite has a 16. So you go first. You can hold your action.
So I'm gonna ready an action.
Yes.
And as soon as those two orcs get within melee distance of me, I am going to split my attacks into a 1-on-1.
Okay. I will warn you
but
that
I'm not going to move forward to engage.
Right. You're staying where you are next to Bing. So you and Bing are at the doorway right now. And they're making their way towards you. They're far enough away that it's probably going to take them to a move and a dash to get up to you. So they won't get an attack. However, if Bing fireballs them, they may not survive.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. It is the anchorite's turn. The anchorite twists her hands around. She moves up carefully to the north, sort of getting an angle on you, and she carefully begins to turn her hands, and another lightning blast hits nearby, and she seems to capture some of the energy from the lightning blast, and she hurls it at Bing. I need Bing to make a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 11, 12.
A 12. The 12 is what you needed. Bing takes 10 points of lightning damage as the lightning bolt hammered. He manages to dodge out of the way, only taking half of the blast. The anchorite kind of turns her hands again, and you see her, and she moves up. She is, again, kind of carefully moving up while continuing to prepare her spells. It is Bing's turn. Does he complete hurling the fireball?
Yes.
All right, so he takes the bead and he hurls it at the front two orcs. Those two orcs make dexterity saving throws. Necklace of Fireballs is a DC 15.
Oh, okay.
And they both fail miserably. If you would roll 8d6 to figure out how much damage they take.
24 points of damage.
Oh, both of them scream out. The fireball erupts around them, and they both scream, dropping their axe and running and then falling as their skin chars under the blast of the fireball. 2 of the 4 orcs are dead. The other orc in the back that was not fireball draws a javelin and hurls it at Bing as well. You note that the anchorite has seemed to target Bing as the threat, given the fireballs.
Okay.
That is a 22 versus AC against Bing.
That's a hit.
Bing takes 9 points of damage as a javelin pierces into him. Ah, sir! I'm wounded.
Bang, get inside the house.
I'm wounded.
I want Bang to go inside the house and heal himself.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't give him a chance to take a move, so he will move now. He quickly, after having hurled the fireball, runs back into the house and kind of, gets cover behind a thing just after getting hit by the javelin. We'll mix his turn up a little bit there for narrative's sake. It is Barundar's turn.
So I asked Bing, Bing,
sir,
what is it that you call these people?
Anchorites! Anchorites of Talos, sir!
Anchorites of Talos. I've had enough of these anchorites. I am going to move up to the closest anchorite. I guess it's a spellcaster.
It is.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get in her face if I can, and I'm just gonna swing my axe twice.
She moved up, so you are able to move up and attack her.
Okay, so 2 attacks.
As you move up, she smiles at you.
Yeah, I'm smiling
Red
too.
eyes.
First attack. That is a 13.
A 13 hits her.
14 points of damage.
14. Tell me an interesting physical characteristic you note of this Anchorite of Talos. Now that you're up in her face, something you notice about her.
But she has almost like a second elbow coming out of her.
Weird. Like her arm broke and healed strangely.
Yeah, like her arm has some weird, some weird healing thing where it broke. And
yeah,
healed almost wrong. Like a second elbow jagging out of her arm.
Right. Her left arm is kind of hooked.
Yeah.
Excellent. She smiles at you, and she turns her hands around and then fires off a huge wave of thunder that smashes into you. I need you to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's my specialty. Ugh. 10.
As you are blasted by it, taking 12 points of damage. And you are blasted back. You blasted back away from her, about 10 feet away. As you kind of reside, she's standing there smiling, lightning arcing around her, and the boom of thunder echoing off on the hills. And she turns to her left and kind of looks off to the left. And as you sort of follow her gaze and look off to the left, a boar comes running at you at full speed.
Oh. And let me guess, I've seen this boar before.
So you have seen a boar like this before. It's a large glyph, large boar covered in strange symbols and 3 lightning bolts painted onto its head.
But hold on. Did I lose my second attack?
I think you did. So yeah, we'll roll back and you can finish your second attack against her. I jumped to her.
Okay, yeah, because I had 2 attacks.
Yes.
All right.
We'll pause right before that boar gores you on its tusks.
Okay. Oh, great.
And roll and just turn the dial back a little.
14 to hit.
14
I'm assuming
hits
that's
her.
a hit.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is a 7 points of damage.
Right. Yeah, so you cut her twice with the axe, then turning the dial. She hits you with the thunder wave. You're blasted back by that. She turns and looks. You turn and look, and a boar comes hurling at you. And it smashes into you. I have a 24 versus a 24 to hit for 6 points of damage as the boar smashes into you and impales you on one of its tusks.
Oh, great. Bang!
It is Bing's turn.
Okay, so poor Bing has to heal. He has no choice.
Okay. Bing's like, sir, I'll be right there.
He needs to cast Cure Wounds on himself.
Okay.
Because he's at 8 hit points.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he rolled a 1.
No!
3 points of damage. Poor Bang doing the best he can.
He's like, I'm trying. Oh, I'm wounded. The other orc, after you get hit by the boar, does Bing have anything else he wants to do? Does he move back out again, or does he stay?
He's going to move back. He's going to move back out.
Okay, he moves back out and looks at the door. The orc kind of has another javelin in hand and is looking at Bing and looking at you. And the anchorite says, finish off this one. We have him. And the orc kind of goes, and he takes his axe and moves over to you and attacks. Wow, they're rolling really well. These guys are doing just fine. That would be a 23 to hit for 6 points of slashing damage as he hits you with a battle axe.
Yes, I definitely felt the brunt of that attack. I'm not in a good spot here, but we're not out of the fight yet. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see how I can use this lightning bolt doohickey here that I have hanging around my neck.
All right. So yeah, as you pick it up, you feel the energy, that charge of energy, and realize that you can let a lightning bolt go, and you can hit any 2 targets. You can
any 2 targets.
So there's 3 people right around you. There's a boar.
Yeah.
There's the anchorite, and there's the orc. You can position yourselves around them to nail any 2 of them.
Yes, I'm gonna hit the anchorite and I'm gonna hit the boar.
Very good. So it is also a DC 15. The anchorite fails, and you said the boar?
Yes.
The boar also fails. Roll 8d6 damage as a bolt of lightning comes arcing through.
6, 10, 13, 16, 19, 20, 21. 26 points.
Wow. Describe your killing blow against the anchorite.
The lightning bolt slices her down the middle, almost in half, charred. Her entire from the middle up to the sides is charred down the middle, and then you see beads of electricity surrounding her lifeless body,
kind of hitting the ground around her.
And hitting the ground
and
around it.
She
like the lightning
falls
bolt
over.
arcing around her.
As she falls over, you see this image behind her of this towering humanoid figure with eyes that are blazing blue and a ornate helm that seems made out of a boar head with a pair of like antlers attached to it. Who looks at the body and smiles at you, lightning arcing from his eyes and down his hands, and then he sort of fades away. Your blast of lightning also hit the boar, who is likewise destroyed. Describe your killing blow against the boar.
Oh, the lightning basically cooks him. And
with a huge thud.
It was so hot. It was so hot and so full of energy that it actually cooks the swine, and Bing and I can have him for a meal.
Excellent. You're like that. Yeah, it smells good. It smells like a barbecue.
Yes.
You're hoping that's not the anchorite you're smelling.
It's not pulled pork. It's crispy charred pork, but that's fine.
It is Bing's turn.
We have one guy left.
You do. The orc is standing there. He's up against you, and he's looking down at the charred body of the anchorite and the boar. And you see him, and he see that figure you saw, that towering storm figure. He kind of sees an image of it too, and he looks your way like, holy cow. And he drops his axe to the ground, and he bows and kneels before you. You can finish him off if you like.
No, I was going to have Bing try to intimidate him.
Bing will come out wounded, still blood coming out of the wound from the javelin. He healed much of it, but it's still damage. Bing can come out and attempt to intimidate him. He has a charisma. Give me a charisma intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, so I want Bing to basically look at him,
right,
that face, and say, "Turn around and run." Charisma, intimidation with advantage. Natural 19 for a 20.
He looks at you, and he looks, and he says, he kind of looks at you and goes, "Servant of Talos, I shall do so." And he turns and runs into the woods.
Beautiful.
You look where that towering image of that figure stood, and you see that the ground around that area is charred black.
Bing?
Sir, are you okay? You're looking off into the distance with a funny look in your eye.
Bing, I saw something here today I can't explain.
What did you see, sir?
I saw a man or a woman or a creature of some sort. Not quite sure.
What did it look like?
Servant of Talos, wearing some boar head on its head. If that makes any sense.
When was this? Was this after you unleashed the blast of lightning from the amulet?
It was after I controlled the elements, Bing. Yes.
He kind of scratches at his scratchy chin. Give me a intelligence religion check with advantage from Bing.
10.
So he's like, and he looks at you and goes, huh? And he shrugs and he walks over and he's like, oh, look at this boar. And he takes out a small knife and he begins to carve off some of the meat from the boar.
It's like that. That's like that Homer Simpson moment where he's like thinking about something and then he gets distracted with a dog with a puffy tail.
Like, wow, look at that boar. It's perfectly cooked. Flash cooked. We should eat it.
Bing.
Sir. Oh, I found something.
Once we're done here, I want to visit one of those libraries and read up on certain things about this area.
Stops you kind of looks
I feel like
at
I'm
you
missing a lot of information.
Yeah, Yes, I was reading something very interesting about the Delzoon dwarves that we should talk about sometime. I think it will be of interest to you. In the meantime,
those dwarven page turners aren't my thing.
well, I don't know that there are other books in the library that will be more exciting than that. But we could look, sir. There could be something. You never know.
Bing, I learned something here today.
What's that, sir?
Lightning bolts hurt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quite a bit. We should be careful if we face any more of these anchorites.
I suggest we rest up and heal, Bing. You don't look too well.
No, I feel terrible, sir.
Yes. So we're going to
yes.
take a short rest here, and we're going to use our hit dice to heal up.
Excellent, sir. Yes. So you kind of set up camp, and after the blast of lightning, the area is quiet. You don't hear any other hostile entities in the area. And Bing says, I found while I was back there, I found something in the satchel of that other anchorite, the one by the tree. Look at this map, sir. And he kind of takes out a map that you can see shows game trails around the woodland manse. And one of those appears to head towards a clearing and a hill where crudely is sketched 6 rectangular objects in a circle on a hill. And in the center is a boar skull. Because I think they were either coming from here or they were either coming from there or they were going back to there. But I wonder, there's clearly some connection between this manse and that hill. We could investigate it, or we could return to Phandalin.
No, we could investigate. Let me,
But we should rest, sir.
Maybe we could spend the night at the manse and...
That's not a bad idea, sir.
Not head back to
we might
Phandalin for now.
Right, we might relax for a moment, and we might spend a little bit more time exploring. Exploring the manse and seeing if there's anything we might have missed.
Yes.
So you travel back in and you close the door and sort of bar it, and you can see that the woodland manse was built to be able to, a lot of it had been built relatively recently. It looks like by orcs and the anchorites, where much of the rest of it appears quite old. As you explore the manse, there's a few pieces of old broken pottery and dishes from long ago, sort of china from long ago. You do find a tarnished silver candelabrum that appears to be worth some money, perhaps 25 gold pieces. As you head up to the top, you find that there is in fact a library in the place. Most of the books have been burned or are completely waterlogged and falling apart. But as you investigate the books, you find that pulling on one of them opens up a small room off to one side. Look, sir.
Peek in. What do I see?
You peer in, and it looks like it's almost like a tiny office or like a small closet. And there's a wooden desk on there, and there's a small leather pouch sitting on top of the desk.
Okay.
And there is there's also a black rod lying on the desk.
Bang, you take a look at that rod. I'll take a look at the pouch.
So he kind of goes over and he's like, he takes his hand on the rod. He's like, oh, and you see his neck muscles straining and his arm tightening up. He goes, I don't understand it, sir. It's completely affixed to this table or something. It's very strange.
Almost immovable.
I certainly can't move it.
I try to.
You grab it as well, and you're pulling on it, and it just is not. It is completely immovable until your hand finds a tiny little button. And when you press it, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Failed.
So as soon as you press the button, it releases, and you go flying back out and smash up against one of the shelves, and old waterlogged books rain down upon you.
Great.
Bing is like, are you all right, sir?
No, I'm not all right, Bing. I just got piled on by books.
Yes.
Help me up.
That's very embarrassing, sir. And he takes your hand. I won't tell anybody. We won't tell those bards about this part.
Nobody saw this.
Nobody saw it. Just the two of us.
Bing, what do you make of this rod?
Look at this, sir. And he holds it, and he leaps up into the air and then presses the button, and then he's hanging from it directly in midair. swinging back and forth, kicking his feet out. He goes, "Look at that!" And then he hits the button again and drops back down to his feet. Fantastic! A fantastic item this is. Amazing.
Bang, I think this might be useful.
I believe you're right, sir.
You may want to hold on to that.
I will, sir. And you see him, and he's like, huh. And he sets it off, and then he like takes his satchel and hangs his satchel from it. He goes, look at that. It's like a coat rack you could put anywhere.
Bing, stop playing with the thing.
It's so, I'm sorry, sir. This is excellent. Like, what happens if and he like puts it in his bag and slides his hand in the bag, and he starts walking, and then he hits it, and his bag stops, and he's pulled by it. He's like, look at that.
Bing, you're like a child.
Sorry, sir. It's just and he undoes it. He goes, yes, sir. How about that dust? Why don't we take a look at that?
I'm going to go look at the leather pouch.
You open it up. Spoiler. You open it up, and inside you find that there's a very fine powder, like fine sand inside. And he goes, oh, sir, be careful with that. It could be a poison, or it could be something else.
It's sand colored?
It is sand colored. It's like white sand.
White sand.
The tip of your finger has faded and slowly disappears. Sir, it appears to be some sort of dust of disappearance. If you were to throw this over yourself, thusly, and he makes a gesture with his hands, you might completely go invisible.
My hand actually started fading away?
Yeah, just your fingertip. Like you just took a little bit of the sand on the tip of your fingertip, and your fingertip disappeared. It is possible, perhaps, that your finger has disappeared from reality, but I don't think so. I think it just makes you invisible.
No, I try to feel it, and it's there.
Yes, and it looks like there's only enough dust to do this once.
Bing, how is the pouch not invisible?
He's like, I don't know, sir. I think the pouch perhaps is designed specifically to hold this. I don't think I would try to put it in anything else. And be careful, like if you put it in your bag and it opened up, you'd never find anything.
Bing, I'm prone to losing things now as it is.
Yes, sir.
We should be careful.
Indeed, sir.
I take the pouch and I'm definitely keeping it.
Excellent. You put it into your pouch. So you have actually a very restful night. The beds are not great. Like there are a lot of stacks of hay and hides that have been sort of thrown in the corner that the anchorites were sleeping on. But comfortable enough, and having a roof over your head is nice. And the boar is delicious, right? Bing takes out some seasoning and puts it on it, and really tasty boar. You rest for the evening, and the next morning you awaken uninterrupted from your night's sleep. What would you like to do now?
And at full hit points.
And at full hit points, all spells restored.
So we're going to go explore that hill.
All right. So it takes you. You are as you make your way north from the Woodland Manse through Neverwinter Wood. It takes you about a half a day to go through the old trees and following the game trails that are on the maps. Every so often, you see these trees that are completely charred with lightning, and completely charred black, and they have the symbol of 3 lightning bolts on them. It gets darker and darker as you get closer to the area on the map, and finally, when you reach the hill, when you reach the clearing and see the hill, black clouds are circling overhead and moving in a circle around you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did the lightning amulet lose its power, or can I still sense some power?
It did. At that point, the amulet, once you had launched the lightning bolt from it, it lost its power.
Black clouds, charred trees. Bang, I don't like the look of this.
Indeed, sir. And look, I think I see figures on top of that hill. And sure enough, you see that there are 4 figures standing on the hill. It looks like 2 of them are those anchorites conducting rituals, and 2 orcs who are also standing there. One of the orcs is dragging a buck that seems like it's been knocked out or drugged, and he takes it and he throws it on top of an altar that's covered in animal skulls in the center of the hill. And you see one of the anchorites draws up a dagger and stabs the animal with it. And as she does so, another blast of lightning comes arcing down and strikes one of the stones around it.
How far away are these people from us?
At this point, they're probably about 60 or 70 feet away. You hear them. They're all chanting. The two anchorites clearly know what they're chanting about. The orcs are sort of following along. And it's something along the lines like all worship Talos, god of chaos, god of entropy. And we call upon you and your child, Gorthok, to seek revenge. And as they do so, like, the blood is pouring out of the buck that they opened up over the altar, and another bolt of lightning hits one of the other stones. Sir, this looks really bad.
What's happening to the stones when they get hit by lightning?
The lightning is just hitting them, and they sort of glow for a bit, and then the glow diminishes.
I believe it's some sort of ritual, Bing.
Yes, sir. A dark ritual to a dark god.
Bing,
Sir.
let me do the talking.
Yes, sir.
I think we should.
He kind of stops, and he holds up the necklace with the one bead remaining. Is like, talking? And he waves the bead back and forth. Or should we save this for later?
Bing,
Sir.
we will not be shooting any more fireballs. Because remember, I have a destiny with a white dragon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm looking at an orc.
There are 2 orcs and 2 anchorites of Talos. They are, so the 2 anchorites are at the far left and far right stones. The 2 orcs are at the north stone and the south stone. In the center, that isn't shown, is the altar. You guys are to the south. You're to that, like, to the southwest. You can kind of see up through the stones.
Yeah, so perhaps there's something we could do to draw out that orc.
So we could try. I could try hitting it with a sacred flame.
Okay, let's do that. But before you do...
Yes, sir.
I want Bing to cast Resistance.
Ah, yes, sir.
The one I'm trying to cast is the one that gives us the 5 temporary hit points.
Oh, that's Aid. Yes. Aid is the one that gives you 5 temporary hit points. And that's both of you.
Okay, that's the one I wanted to cast. Sorry.
Not a problem. In fact, you could have cast that before you even came here, because it lasts like 8 hours. So when you got closer to it, he could have cast it on you on the way.
So we both have 5 temporary hit points.
Yes. And he can throw resist on you as well. Lasts a minute.
Sure.
It's like bless for saving throws. Shall I cast the Sacred Flame, sir?
Yes.
I warn you that sometimes when I feel the energy of the gods in me, I get kind of loud. So we'll have to see if I can do so and still remain quiet. So he closes his eyes and he opens them, and white light shines from them, and he begins to chant to his god. Is he what? Do you have a god for him? Do we know who he worships?
He worships the god of halflings.
Okay. Somebody in chat tell us who that is. So let's capitalize on our live play. So he begins to chant. I need both you and Bing to make dexterity stealth check.
Dexterity save of 4.
Excellent. And for Bing.
And Bing rolls a dexterity save of 9.
Oh, right. As Bing, he's like, I will try to be quiet, sir. He's like, by the gods above, I call upon, and all the orcs are like, whoa, and they turn around. Let us roll for initiative, please. You never knew such a small character had such a powerful voice.
Bing,
sir, he ignores
you. Really have a.
May the
you really have
radiant energy.
You have a booming voice at the most inopportune times.
Yeah, and it really is. It's like it's amplified, by the powers.
Barundar rolls a 6.
Barundar.
Bing rolls a natural 20.
Whoa, good for Bing.
With a 1. 21 for Bing.
21. And the Anchorites roll they're pretty fast too with an 18. So Bing does get his spell off before the orcs are able to answer. And they make a saving. One of them makes a saving throw. And so so for the amplified voice, it seems to pour energy as he fires off a radiant blast right in the head of one of the orcs. Firstly, can you describe an interesting physical characteristic of this orc?
It had unusually long hair.
And if you could roll for me 2d8 for his radiant damage.
9.
9 points of radiant damage. The orc screams out as he is blasted by radiant energy. Both of the orcs, so the anchorite says, the ritual must continue. Kill them. And the two orcs go, "Argh!" And they grab their axes and come running down the hill. They come halfway down and each draw javelins. One throws one at Bing. That is a 15 versus AC against Bing.
That's a hit.
Bing is hit for 6 points of damage as the javelin hits him in the leg. Oh, sir, again! Why? And so his booming voice is cut short by a squeak as he is hit by this javelin. And the other one hurls one at you, and it snaps into a tree nearby, but misses you. They are now about 25. Both the orcs are 25 feet away from you and about 15 feet from each other. And it is the anchorites continue their ritual. Another blast of lightning strikes one of the pillars, and you see like 4 of them are glowing with this light. It is Barundar's turn.
So I'm gonna move into one of the orcs, and I'm gonna
Excellent.
slash him twice with my.
Are you going up to Longhair or going up to the other one?
No, we can go to the long hair.
Excellent.
That's fine.
You walk up to Longhair.
So 18.
Yes.
And 12.
A 12 does not hit, but the 18 does.
14 points of damage. Rolled a 10.
Describe your killing blow against Longhair.
I chop off Longhair's head.
All right, so he
with
comes
my axe.
running in. He hurls the javelin, whoa, and his head goes right off.
Slices right off.
Bing is like, we should tell that one to the bards. That was impressive.
It was.
It is Bing's turn.
Bing is thinking ahead, and Bing is going to cast Shield of Faith on Barundar.
Excellent. He casts his spell, and you feel this. You're wearing that mithril armor, and the armor just begins to glow with this divine power. The second orc comes running up to Barundar, and he drops a great axe upon you. And he rolls a 20 versus AC.
And 20 is my AC with the Shield of Faith.
Yes, he just you see him, and his eyes glow with that stormy light as his axe comes smashing down upon you, cutting through your divine armor for 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
The anchorites continue their ritual, and another eruption hits another stone.
It didn't hurt Barundar as much as it should have, because it took some of my temporary
Right.
strength that Bing gave me.
The aid, yes. Ah!
Yeah.
It is
And I
Barundar's turn.
kind of smile at the orc.
Excellent. He's roaring. You see like lightning arcing from his own eyes. Ha ha ha! I am powered by Telos, and soon you shall face Gorthok.
And I'm powered by Moradin. And soon you will die.
I shall return to the dirt, as will you.
2 attacks on this guy.
And your little friend, too.
Oh, shut your mouth. And I swing my axe at him twice.
All right.
And I roll a 20 and a 9.
Was that a natural 20 or dirty 20?
No, it was not.
Okay.
No, it was not.
The 20 hits him.
10 points of damage.
Oh! Describe an interesting physical characteristic of this orc.
He's got a massive hunchback.
Ooh. It is Bing's turn.
Sacred Flame.
All right. On the hunchback?
Yes.
He fails. He takes 2d8 radiant damage.
6 and 8. 14.
Describe Bing's killing blow against the hunchback.
The hunchback is engulfed in Sacred Flame.
All right.
Lighting up his body in an unnatural glow that even Barundar and Bing both have to sort of cover their eyes from.
And you kind of cover up your eyes, and you take it away, and you turn to Bing, and Bing kind of points at you, and you realize you have like a clean handprint over your face, and then like your skin has taken like almost like you're sunburned with like a handprint on your face. He's like, sorry about that. The anchorites both raise their hands, and 2 new blasts, boom, boom, hit the columns of the stone columns. Only one of them is not glowing at this point, and it is your turn. Come, Gorthox! Come, thunder! You see this greenish fire starts to form behind the altar, and it's starting to grow in a circle, like a circle of flame that is growing. And on the other side, you see this like purple, stormy horizon that is clearly not a horizon from this world.
Oh, Bing?
Sir, what the hell's that?
Whatever it is, it seems highly unnatural. Would you agree?
I would agree with that assessment, sir.
I think perhaps we need to stop this ritual, Bing.
He's like, you see him and he's counting all of the pillars. He's like,
Can these pillars be knocked down?
So they are standing 20 feet high, and they look like they have been stuck an equal amount of distance into the ground. It looks like 6 or 8 sturdy ogres could try to pull one over.
Well, I'm not a sturdy ogre, much less 8.
Both of the
What do we do
anchorites
here?
look at you, and they start to smile, their eyes arcing. You even see like bolts of electricity arcing from one of their eyes to the eyes of the other one. Like they're
Bing?
Sir,
We're going to rush in there and you're going to drop a fireball on these guys.
I thought you said we needed the fireball for the dragon, sir.
Well, Bing, I've changed my mind.
Yes, sir. Are you going to run in and I'll bounce it
Okay,
off your head, sir?
We'll talk about that later. I am going to run in. So can I make it in one turn?
Yes,
there?
you can engage with either one of the anchorites. They're on opposite sides from one another. So they are about 20 feet away from each other. A fireball would hit them both. But you will not be in melee with both of them at the same time.
Where is the closest one to me? How far away from me?
About 20 feet away, and it's the one to the left.
All right.
There's
so
one on the left side of the circle,
rush
one on the right side.
Okay, so I'm going to rush in there and I'm going to swing at him.
Go ahead.
And I'm screaming as I do.
Everyone's screaming. They're screaming. Bing's screaming.
Everybody's screaming for ice cream. Here we go. 2 10s. 17, both rolls.
Those are 2 solid hits.
Great. This is 8 plus 4. 13 on one, 8 on the other. 21 points of damage.
21 points of damage. Describe an interesting physical characteristic of this anchorite. This anchorite of Talos.
It's missing an eye.
Ooh. Bing! He's like, fireball now, sir?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not.
It's the hands quivering as he holds the orb in his hand. It's like,
No, Sacred Flame, Bing. Sacred
Flame.
Flame.
He puts it next side. Boom! And he fires.
Sacred Flame.
He fires off a Sacred Flame on the one eye, the one-eyed anchorite.
Yes.
Anchorite. Yeah. He fails. Roll 2d8 radiant damage.
5 and 2, 7.
7 points of damage. Describe your killing blow on one eye.
Sacred fire comes out of his eye sockets.
He falls over dead. The one remaining anchorite, she stops her screaming, and you see her, and she walks over, and she looks at you, this curved bone dagger in her hand, and she smiles at you, and she says, "For the love of Talos, come, Gorthok." And she cuts her own throat, her blood splashing down upon the altar, and she falls over, kind of her body embracing the altar itself, as the last lightning bolt slams into the stone, and that whirling blue-green circle of flame opens up wide, and you hear a roar from the other side. The circle opens up, and you see this.
Oh.
A boar. It stands 10 feet high and must weigh 5,000 pounds. Comes roaring out of the portal, roars out, its tusks blazing with lightning as it comes out, as you face Gorthok, the Thunder Boar. And it is there where we will end today's adventure.
What is it with these people and boars?
They love them some boars, and they love them some lightning.
Bing?
Thank you for another fungus. Yes, sir.
I think we're in trouble.
Yes, sir. Should I fireball you now, sir?
And we'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it right there. Thank you all on Twitch for watching today. For those of you who watched on YouTube, we hope you enjoyed today's show. And Enrique, will we be back next week?
Hopefully so.
Oh, right.
Yes.
We are closing in on the end of Dragon of Icespire Peak, I must say. I think we have 1, maybe 2 sessions to go.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, my
everybody.
friend.